So when I step into my barbell back squat, or before I step into my barbell back squat, for me personally, I like to pre-exhaust either or potentially on days like today, both my hamstrings and my glutes. The reason why I do this is the barbell back squat and any sort of squatting motion, you can give an absolute beginner a barbell back squat or some sort of squat variation. You say, where do you feel this? 9 times out of 10 they say, in the quads. Obviously it's a huge leg movement. It's very easy to let the quads dominate the movement. But what you're looking for from your squat, the squat is a compound movement, which means we are trying to recruit as many muscle groups as possible, especially with the lower body being, so packed with big, strong muscles. We've got our glutes, we've got our hamstrings, we've got our hips. So for me, to make sure that the load isn't solely through my quads and I'm not feeling the movement dominating my knees, I want to pre-exhaust my hamstrings and my glutes. So to do this, I'll go on a couple of isolation movements. Some of them I'll take to failure, and I know a lot of people sort of have the idea that pre-exhausting too much is going to take away from the back squat, but I found over time, once you got used to doing things in that order, that I got so much more out of my squat and I got such a better leg day. And actually the pre-exhaustion helped with overall muscle activity, and again making sure that the load is evenly distributed. I don't just want to feel this movement in my quads. If I'd wanted that, I would set up a nice narrow stance, maybe some heel elevation. There would be things I would do to make it specifically quad dominant. But if I'm looking for that solid compound back squat, me pre-exhausting my glutes, or maybe something like a glute bridge, a hip thrust, some seated hip abduction, or pre-exhausting my hamstrings on any sort of hamstring isolation, it's just going to give me so much more out of my squat and help me recruit as much muscle as possible to give me a nice powerful squat out the bottom of that rep.